Hello everybody, so welcome back to the Autistic Modeler Society, and this is the 7th video in the building and constructing of the 1/350 scale RMS Titanic by Minicraft Models. And in this video I'm going to be telling you about installing the ventilation pipes, the ventilation vents, the forced air unit fans, installing the mechanical winches, the cowls, the vents, and lastly the lifeboats. This is simply just the davits, but I'm going to also be building the lifeboats in a separate as part of this this video. So obviously, if you've been following, I started off with I actually started off with a black just a black hull for a kit, and over the past couple months and 6 videos, it now looks now looks like the actual Titanic that sailed on April of 1912. So definitely getting there. Obviously put lights in it, and it will actually be finished in time for the 25th anniversary of Titanic coming back to the big screen. So this will actually be on display at the Tallahassee, Florida Challenger Learning Center IMAX Theater, where we will be showing the James Cameron 1997 film Titanic. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be installing all the little deck accessories, and some of these will include the use of photo etched pieces. I've already installed some of those already. I have the some of the cowls installed. I have a lifeboat installed, a collapsible boat, ventilation vent here. If I can turn this slightly, I have another ventilation fan here with a photo etch grating on top of it. So yeah, so that's basically where I'm at now, and I'm just basically going over this video where I will be describing how to assemble these little accessories for the main deck. I've already installed 2 winches here and here, along with the detail for the forecastle, which is this front part here. I've already installed the rat lines for the main mast. But of course, I'm gonna do the next video will be the rigging. So the rigging and the stays for the funnels. I've also added the photo etch ladder and whistle for the funnels, although I have to repair funnel 3's whistle because it kind of got a little messed up. So yeah, so I'm gonna be installing the vents, the cowls, and all those accessories for the boat deck. So wherever you see basically a white space, that's where one of these are gonna go. Okay, so with no further ado, let's get started. Okay, so basically these before the invention of like AC or HVAC, as the ship was sailing, it was prudent to keep the passengers comfortable. So these little cowlings here would suck in air and force it through a fan mechanism, which is this lower end here, in order to in order to cool the ship and keep the passengers comfortable. Of course, I'm sure there's a more mechanical explanation for that you can probably find on a lot of YouTube videos or books about how the Titanic operated. There's a great YouTuber by the name of Ocean Liner Designs who talks all about that kind of stuff. So I'm sure he can probably tell you much more about the functions of the cowling system and the ventilation system, but I just kind of just gave a very rough explanation. Okay. So the cowling and the ventilation come in two different sections or two different pieces. You have the fan part, and then you have the cowling part. Okay. So if you notice in this spruce tree here where the cowlings come attached, some of them are red, some of the insides are red, and what you do with that is, in this case, what I'm going to be using, since I don't have red paint available right up near me, is I'm going to be using some raw sienna paint. This is the same paint I used for some of the wood paneling on the ship, and basically squirt that into my little paper plate paint palette. Little dab will do ya. Don't need a lot. Put that there. And then take a toothpick. Kind of dip it in there. And let's say I wanted to change this color. This one here. Gently plop it in there and just tap it in there. Okay. Since there's already a center indentation for it. Okay. And then so you have the inside of your cowling detailed to make it kind of stand out and look more authentic. Of course, with the 1/200 one, the detail is much more pronounced. But this is what I did for these 1/350 cowling heads here. And then sometimes, you know, some of them could be black. So again, take some acrylic black paint. Take the other end of your toothpick and then just neatly tap it in there. And there you go, you have your detailed insides of the cowlings. So some of the air conditioned units had these large wedge-shaped ventilation fans. Excuse me, hold on. These large ventilation fans, like this one here. And so what you do there is take some black paint and the head of the head of the toothpick that's in the black acrylic paint, and just gradually fill this out here. And because I'm using photo etch later, a photo etch covering that I'm going to show in a few seconds, you don't need to worry about the paint going over some of these white lines here, because the photo etch is going to do a better job in covering that up. So that's a start. And then I have some photo etch, if I can find out where I put it. Some photo etch parts that will go on top of that, just like what I did with this one here. Okay, and of course you would have to, they come in etched brass, so you would have to first soak the photo etch part. So for example, this is photo etch here. You would have to soak this in a lukewarm water soap solution, let it sit for a couple hours, then spray paint it to remove any unnecessary oils from it, because if there's oils on the photo etch parts, the spray paint may not adhere to the metal. So you're gonna have to soak it, dry it, and then you can spray paint it. I've already added some photo etch parts already to the ship. Like I said, some of the grating is photo etched. The rat lines are photo etched, and also I add the cargo cranes. The cargo crane little banister railings here are also photo etched. Photo etched for the rat line. The panes for the water tank room are photo etched, as well as this banner, this railing here is photo etched. So already photo etched stuff already applied. I was going to do a whole video on it, but I decided to just do photo etch when it's convenient, and just go ahead and hurry up and get that done with, and get this model completed and finished, because I'm getting this movie ready for the 25th anniversary. Excuse me, I'm getting this model ready for the 25th anniversary. So, yep. So I'm going to go ahead and begin installing some of the cowlings for this kit already. Like I said, here's some vent. Here's some more like J-shaped ventilation ducts. Again, take your toothpick with the black paint on it, and just gradually just brush that on there. Very smooth, very simple. I say use a toothpick, because it's much more easier to control and much smaller surface area. Although you can definitely use a very, 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 very fine paintbrush, something probably smaller than this, to get those to do it like that. But the toothpick is more convenient because it's smaller, it's disposable, and it has a much more smaller tip head to part ratio. Okay. So like I said, the cowling system comes in two parts. The machinery part, which is where the ducted fan is, and then of course the cowling part, which is the part that more people are familiar with. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take some super glue. You don't need a lot, because this, if you've ever worked with super glue, it's very cumbersome when it gets attached to you. take the part, the cowling part, and basically connect the two, and so you have a cowling. You have now a full cowling HVAC unit. Then I would take my once again my little dab of paint, and basically tap that in there, and you have a cowling and an HVAC unit. So I get some tweezers to hold it up and whoops. So, yeah, see? And then when you do that, then take the kit, figure out where it goes. Then it's kind of cumbersome, so bear with me. Install it like that. Right there. So, yep, that's how you install a cowling and ventilation unit on the boat deck of the Titanic. So the next part of this will be attaching. So that's the ventilation. Now we have to attach the mechanical winches. And the paint that I use to paint them is a black green, Tamiya black green. Because if you look at some of the winches on the movie, and also if you refer to several paint guides about painting the Titanic at the most authentic, accurate portrait of it, the winches are a very, very dark green mechanical color, and that's what the black green is for. So yeah, so that is going to be that, and I will do that, and the next part of this video will be installing the lifeboats. So it's gonna definitely be a very interesting next part of this video. Okay, so now it is time. Now that I've already installed the cowls and all the ventilation fans and cowls and ducts and things. Now it's time to begin assembling the lifeboat davits and the lifeboats themselves, and that's also going to include the photo etched handrails, or like the not really handrails, but like hand holds that go along the sides of the lifeboats. So that's going to be what we're going to be doing next. Okay, so I've already installed some of the lifeboats already, or at least the davits. If you can see here, I already have some lifeboat davits, and also with the ropes to match. Now for the rope, quote unquote rope, I'm going to be using some Easy Line. This is a company out of Massachusetts called Berkshire Junction out of Massachusetts, and they supply easy line telephone and electronic and fence lines. So if you've ever done model trains, or ever like stitched guy wires to an airplane, that's basically what this is. And of course, I have some more that's black for the next video segment in this series, where I'm going to be explaining how to thread both the foremasts and the main masts, and also the funnels, and of course the aerial or the antenna leads. So that's going to be in the next video. But this video is going to be focusing on assembling the lifeboats and the lifeboat davits. Okay, so here is a set of davits here. Here's like just one whole set. Basically, this is actually, and by the way, this is actually one of the foremost set of lifeboat davits, and you know that because on this end, some of the davits, the first set of davits actually swing outward. So that's how you know this is for this front one, the front part of the ship, because these davits swing over, and they swing over the side. And of course you have a little slot there where you would put it. So one of the things, so yeah, like I said, we have the davits, we have the easy line rope, some super glue, and then of course we have an entire set of lifeboats, and then I also have some other lifeboats that are collapsible. And let me see if I can grab that right quick. And here you have the some of the collapsible boats here. Okay. But for right now, I'm going to be focusing on this, what we have in front here. So the first thing you do is take some easy line, right? Don't get a lot, but get enough so you don't have to use too many strands of that, because I'm also going to be using this rope colored easy line for additional funnel guy wires, where I'm going to basically attach some of this to the deck and connect them to the top of the funnel. Whereas for the black guy lines, or the stays as they're called, here's a funnel to show an example. I'm going to use the black guy wires that actually connect in these holes right here. So, but I will explain all of that in the next video. Okay? So now that you have your rope for the davits, what you then do is take some super glue, little dab will do ya. You don't need a ton. Actually, you don't need a lot at all, because if you put too much super glue on it, it tends to take too long to dry. And you see where this little notches, Basically, start threading it there. A little more dab of super glue. Let it kind of dry before adding some glue here. And see how it basically connects quicker and easier. Okay, and then take some glue to then thread that across. Like that. And then next, put a little bit of glue on these notches here. Bring this over like this, like so. Add some glue on the top part of the davit arm, and then thread that like so here. And then you just keep doing that until you have a set of davits that looks like this. Okay, so now we have a fully completed set of davits that are fully strung and ready to be installed on the ship. Now, what you do, especially if you have excess easy line, take some scissors and just snip it off like that. What'll probably be easier is using a toenail clipper, because the blades are much more smaller, and they can get into a smaller surface area. And I can show you that, or like a smaller surface area, and I can show you more of that when we do the threading the both masts and the funnels. So yep, here you go. Complete set of davits. Notice how how the wiring and the ropes are very symmetrical. That's pretty cool. Snip a little bit more here. Yeah, and like I said, I was able to do this with only one strand of easy line. That's how amazing easy line is. You don't really need a lot. But of course, when I do install the lifeboats, obviously I'm going to use a little bit more easy line to actually strung the boats to the actual davits. But in the meantime, I was just working on the davits. So with these davits done, I'm gonna then pour some super glue in this little crevice where those davits are going to be located. And then I'm going to place the davit set right here where it belongs. Okay. So now all the davits are now installed. And I'm going to clamp it down for a couple seconds so it can actually settle in and let the glue dry. It's very imperative to make sure the swing out portions of the davits are facing over the side of the ship, as opposed to inside. If they're facing inside, you assembled it wrong. So yeah, so all the davits are now installed. Now it's time to construct the lifeboats. Okay. So when it comes to assembling the lifeboats, notice how I painted the lifeboats a more deeper white color. This is called Insignia White by Tamiya Coloring. And it is a U.S. Navy shade of white. And since this is a ship, obviously the Titanic was, it would have been only fitting to have decided to paint the lifeboats in this color, whereas the davits that I just assembled, I painted in kind of this like regular matte color white. Right? So it's kind of gonna give that color differential there. And another thing too is on eBay, I was able to buy some canvas colored fabrics to actually cover up the lifeboats. There are several different sizes, and these are to cover the top of the lifeboat to make it more authentic. And then I got some photo etch handrails that I'm going to then soak in a lukewarm water soap solution, and then spray paint those the rope handrails this warm caramel colored paint here. Okay, and then of course we have the decal sheet for placement of the labels on the lifeboats. So I have a Sharpie to basically make a black line across the very top edge of each lifeboat to kind of give it that, to kind of add more authenticity. And of course what I'll do there is take the and just basically make a line. It's okay if you get stuff on top because the canvas covers are going to cover that. And so you have a set of completed lifeboats. The rest is pretty explanatory. Basically going to take my hobby knife, cut each one of these out. Notice on the side that they have the pegs and the holes to connect them together. Once that's done, I'm going to then take some, I'm going to obviously paint these handrails first, take some tweezers, and then cut out each of the rails. Make sure they're placed with the handrails down. Don't place them on the boats like that. Place them with the rails downward. And I'm gonna then obviously attach those to the lifeboats. Make sure you bend the rails slightly so they can actually fit to the contours of the boats. Then I'm going to place the lifeboats at their designated spots, add more easy line for additional rope to connect the boats, and that will be the end of assembling the lifeboats. Of course, there's some pegs here for some of the collapsible boats. So, yep, definitely look forward to finishing that up by this weekend. This video should post, I want to say, Saturday at 12 p.m. And then right after that, because I want to get this model done. I want to get this model done by the time that James Cameron decides to release the 25th anniversary of Titanic. So I'm trying to get all this done, everything done by by February 10th. And for the most part, I want to say 85% of this model is done. The only thing left is to add the rails, the handrails on the deck, and then also doing the guy wires for the mast and the funnels, and then adding some finishing touches, and that would pretty much be it. Oh, and before I forget too, the lifeboats also include a set of lifeboat rails, which are these things here. So I'm gonna also paint these white, and I'm also going to install those too. Okay, so a lot of work to do, and can't wait to finish this. Go ahead and start finishing this up. There's probably going to be 2 more videos coming out with this kit. The next one is going to be installing the threading the masts, installing the guy wires and the stays for the funnels. That's also going to include installing the radio aerials too. And then the next one will be installing the handrails, and then maybe a third one would be finishing touches and remarks, like how did I like this kit? Was it an easy build? That kind of thing. So 3 more videos left, and I hope to knock those all out in quick succession. So this is video 7. So the next one would be 8, and then 9, and then I think 10. So it's a 10-part video series on how to build the 1/350 scale Titanic. And then I have actually another Titanic, or at least Olympic class ship that I'm building. This is more or less this is actually going to be a troop ship. So I'll definitely do a video on that. And put that back over there. So yeah, so I look forward to seeing you guys soon.